Hi guys, I'm back. I had a little breakdown and I decided I'm not going to do resin anymore. Yeah, sorry about that. But really, I am done with the resin. I don't like it. It's sticky and it's messy, and there are people out there that do it a lot better than I do. So if you want to see some cool resin stuff, go to Artist Till Death, and they do some really awesome work with resin, and I think that's something that you'll enjoy. So that's that. So no more resin on my channel. Well, I will be doing resin, but you know, only as a sort of a finish onto a multimedia or something like that. I'm really gonna stop doing the. I don't find it satisfying for me, and everyone has their niche, so that's it. I don't like it, and sometimes you just have to find that out, and that's how stuff works, right? Yes. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do two small paintings. I am going to do a little push and a pull, and I'm going to do it on a background with this nice sort of a beige color background. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure that everything's nicely covered in a nice little bit of paint, because with push and pull you don't really want to do too much tilting. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but then you know you don't really want to tilt too much. So there we go, nice and covered. Now the colors I've chosen are Van Dyke Brown. This is a burnt sienna, the transparent one, and I have two sort of turquoises, greenish turquoise, bluish turquoise. And I'm going to put them in a little cup like this. This is just a little medicine cup. And I'm going to put my paint in here, but not use too much. As you can see, just small amounts of paint, and I am going to put some of the background color in it. Now the background color doesn't have silicone because that's you want that nice and smooth, but all the colors I'm using, they do have silicone. That's dimethicone that I use, dimethicone 1000. You can buy it on eBay or search around for it. I'm sure there are a lot of companies that sell it. And if you can't get it, one that is pretty much like this is the treadmill lubricant. That is 100% silicone also. I've had a lot of questions about the WD-40 or 30 or whatever you call it, but I'm not a fan of that because there's too much there's a little bit too much additives put in there, and when we use it in our paint, I don't feel good about that. I used it in the beginning, but lately I almost never use it because I just health wise I think it's not a responsible thing to do, but it's all up to you. As long as you're careful, don't inhale the stuff, I think you're good to go. Okay, we got all sorts of colors. A little bit more on top. And this time I'm doing a lot of layers because I want those colors all popping up. That's it. I think that's enough. Now, with the push and pull, like you know, you put it on here, you let it come down, you put a little bit more of the background around it. so that it, you know, sort of gets under the background color. As you can see, it's already sort of floating, and then you sort of pull it like that and do a little tilt, of course, because you do want it to do something. That's kind of nice. And now let's see what we get when we torch it. Ooh, that is pretty. As you can see, I'm holding the torch really high. There's a lot of space between the torch and the canvas. There we go. And we're gonna make the cells just a little bit bigger, so they go over the side like that. And I'm gonna let them come down here a little bit, but make sure that the cells keep their circular little pattern. Look at that, that is pretty. See that? That is pretty. Well, let me get you in. See the definition of those cells, how tight they are and how beautiful. Now that in the middle there would be a really beautiful print. This would make a really beautiful print. And I see absolutely, well, here's a little air bubble, but here in this there's no air bubbles, so I just might let this do its thing, dry, and maybe then I'll do try to do a picture. And if that works, I think I'll do that as a giveaway, you know, the print giveaway. I haven't done one of those for a while. Just making sure there's not a ridge or something, you know. With push and pulls, you can't really avoid a little bit of a ridge in the paint. That's just, you know, that just has to be there. But this is really nice. And now I'm thinking I want to pull it even bigger because it's so beautiful. Let me see if we can do that. You know, sometimes you just want to change your mind about something. That's okay. But we have to do this very slowly so we don't really disrupt too much of the cells. But it would be nice if it just went over the side here a little bit. There it goes. That is really pretty. This is a little bit long. See if we can get that one a little bit more round. That is nice. That is really pretty. I love that. Now this has to come down a little bit. And this side too. Let me see if I can do that. Pull it over. Yeah, that's cool. Now, as you can see, there's almost no paint on the table. That's how much, that's how that works with the push and the pull thing. It just sort of all stays on the canvas, and that's pretty cool. I really love this bit too. I'll give you one more close-up. Let me clean off my hands. Especially this bit here, that is really pretty. Look at that. That is beautiful. I'm glad I did this because, like I said, I wasn't so impressed with the resin. I think the whole acrylic pouring is more my thing. This is what I enjoy, and I feel like I have pretty much a lot of control over the acrylic pouring. And that's something I miss in the resin. And sometimes you just want to do it and keep on trying. But after a while, you just have to, you know, just give up and say, that's it. So this is going to dry exactly like it is right now. And we're going to put this one away, and I'm going to do another one. So let's put this one away. And what I have left is a 20 by 20. That was a 15 by 15. I might do that one in as a giveaway, not next month, but later. So here we have a 20 by 20, and we're going to do pretty much the same. So we're going to cover the whole background. And I have a lot of questions about the paint, how long you can keep paint. One person was asking because she says, well, sometimes just when I'm ready to pour, I get guests, and I don't have time to put lids on the paint. Well, if you don't, then you can leave it for a couple of hours, but before you start pouring, you'll have to check your thickness just one more time before you do, because sometimes, especially when you put the PVA into the mix, it will just get a little bit thicker in a couple of hours. That happens. So to be on the safe side, the good thing to do is just check it before you use it. Now, if you're a sort of a weekend pourer, like I am, and the whole paint mixing isn't something that you really enjoy. I know some people really don't enjoy the mixing, and they do the pouring but not the mixing. What you can do is get one of those mixers. I bought one, a really cheap one, the cheapest mixer you can buy. It has, the ones where there's a bowl and you have your hands free to put the paint in and the mediums in, but it just keeps on mixing, one of those. I don't know how you call them. I guess you call it just a mixer. We call them kitchen machines, something like that. That's kind of funny. Okay, that's enough paint on there. I am going to get rid of the bubbles. Okie dokie. Bye bye bubbles. Well, there's still one. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, now we're going to fill up the cup, only this time we're going to put in a little bit more than the last one because this one is a little bit bigger. But if you have those kitchen machines, you could buy a real cheap one just, for the paint mixing. And then you can, if you have access to these big, this is a liter, you have these bottles, you can put the paint in there, but don't add the silicone. Wait with the silicone. Just put everything in, your mediums, everything you need. And then these bottles, you can keep this paint in here for about, I've been doing this now for 3 months, something like that. And it's still very, the same consistency that when I put it in. So that's a good thing. Let me put in a little bit more of the sienna color. I do need a little bit more sienna. But always shake it before you use it. That's a good thing to do. Now this, as you can see, is a little on the thick side. So then when you go to use it, just put a little drop of water in there and get it up to the right consistency. Need a little bit of silicone in here, just a tiny bit because it's not that much paint in here. Okie dokie. Because I really like this color popping up. It gives it a sort of a, I don't know, it's like it's on fire, something like that. But like I was explaining, the paint you can save that for a couple of months and that'll be good to go. So then you don't have to do all that mixing every time you want to pour. All you have to do is put it in little cups, add the silicone, and you're good to go. There we are. This is going to be a full cup because I'm sort of thinking about pushing it up here and pulling it down, or just pushing it up and pulling it back, but I want a diagonal sort of a thing going on, so I'm going to try and achieve that. Now, the thing that I'm thinking of is that the more layers you put in, the more diverse your cells are going to be. So that is something that I've been looking at. And because of all the colors, somehow there's more definition in them. So we'll see. There's no Floetrol in here. It's the same mix that I always do. It's paint in the cup, 40% pouring medium Vallejo, the new formula, then 10% gloss medium, 10% PVA medium, and that's about it. So I'm gonna plop it on here and give it a little bit behind here because I'm gonna push it up and pull it back. So I'm gonna take the canvas in one hand, then I'm gonna push up and pull it right back down here and see what happens. This is just a little bit different than I normally do. So I'm going to let that come up there. Now I'm going to let it come down here. And that is coming down, 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 down. Because I want it to be kind of smooth. So I need it to go over the side before I, yep, that's it. Now I'm gonna torch it. That is really interesting. And I'm gonna give you a close-up of here. Now look at the definition of those cells. That's crazy. That's really pretty. But we're not ready yet because we're gonna pull it down a little bit. And make some more of that sienna pop up, because by doing this we're spreading it out underneath the top. As you can see here, there's a little bulge, and that's a good thing. It's going to be pulling, 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 and as we do this, these cells are going to get bigger. Here it's going over the side. That's kind of what we like. A little bit more would be nice. There we go. That is really fun. Now I'm hoping that's going to swell up a little bit more. Oh, yes it is. There we go. That is really interesting. Pulling it down a little bit here, and I want to smooth it out just a little bit down there. I'm tapping it on the table just a little, because I don't really mind it sort of swirling a little bit. That's it. That is pretty. Okay. Here you can see where we torched it a little bit more, so that sort of came up there. And these cells I really like up here. Down here is a sort of a swirly thing going on, which I like. The only thing I don't really like is that down here the cells are sort of breaking up. Sometimes that happens when the dark brown and the sienna sort of hit together. Then you get this, and that I'm not really liking that much. This is a little bit too blue for me too, if you know what I mean. So what we're gonna do is give that another go. I am going to put some color in here. I'm gonna do a really small ribbon on top of it. because I think that's too blue. Although there'll probably be someone that says, oh, please don't do that. But gotta do it. A little bit of this. There it is. And I am going to give it a little swirl with the stick. Just a little one. Okay. Now we're going to come in here and go straight down there. And move that ribbon. There it goes. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Now hoping that it's going to give us some cells. Ooh, not much, just a little bit. But adding to it does give it a little bit more movement, and that was what I was looking for, because there was too much of the same cells in the middle. So that's why I added just a little bit of extra, and now I think it's perfectly balanced. I like what it's done, and I think this is really swirly. It's really nice. It's sort of like it was already there before I put it in. So that is really beautiful. What I would like is to have this pop up a little bit more. So, okay guys, bear with me here. I would like that to be a little bit more prominent in the picture, but this is where it gets tricky, because I just want to follow this line and nothing more than that. Oh yeah, that's good. And you can't squeeze this bottle, because if you do, it comes pouring out. You have to be really careful. That's it. Oops. I think a little bit more, but I really want it to. That didn't work. Now I got a little blotch of, but I can move it a little. That's better. That is nice. Let's do that again. So a little bit here. And just move it down a little bit like that. That's pretty. Okay, that's it. That is exactly what I think it missed. Just a little to make it a little bit more important. Okay. There it is. See, just a little bit of glitter just along this line here. And when it dries and I varnish it, it'll be really pretty. I'm sure it will be. Okay, guys. Long video. Not that much waste on the table. That is good. I still have some, so I might do a little swipe. Yes. I really do like these colors. These are really my colors. I just love the way the turquoises, they mix with the sienna and the brown. Gives it a little bit of a special. There we go. Because I don't know where my palette. Oh, there's a palette knife. Okay. A little bit of the brown. A little bit of the sienna. A little bit more of this. Palette knife. bit of gook going on here. Just don't know where that comes from sometimes. Okay. And I'll hold it up when I'm going to torch it because I think this is going to be really pretty. There it goes. Nah, I thought it was going to be prettier. But these days when I do something like this, I always want to take one of those cards and just want to look if I can see something pretty. Nope. Not yet. Maybe if we pull this one down a bit. Now we're getting somewhere. That's okay. That is pretty. Okay, let's see if we like it again. See what a difference that makes? That is kind of nice. Only I would have loved a little bit more color in it because now the black, you know, with the black frame, it's not really popping because there's not enough color. So maybe that's something that you want to think about when you do something. A small pour like this for in a frame. Make sure there are some colors that make it pop because that's important when it has a black frame. So we're going to do one more thing here. Let's see. Let's do the sienna. I'm trying to give you an idea of what I'm trying to tell you guys. There we go. A little bit of this on top of it. 2 drops. And my little squeegee. That's it. And now we're going to let it come down a bit. And I think it does need a little bit of this color. Okay, let's do this again. See how much that changes the whole thing? Just by adding that little bit of sienna and that little dash of turquoise. So that's something that, you know, when you're going to do something like frame it, that's something that you can do. Just take care that you watch the colors. See, I'm letting them come back so you have left and right, you have the same colors. And maybe a little swipe on top just to make a few cells. There it goes. And I am missing one little bit here where it has no cells. That is really cute. I like this one. Okay, we'll let this dry and then we'll frame it. There we go. Now it's a total masterpiece. See how much you can do just by adding a little bit? That is really pretty. Okay. Okay guys, this is 30 minutes, so I'm gonna stop right here. Gonna load this up and I'll talk to you again this week, I guess. See you later. Love you to pieces. Liebe euch alle. Hou voor jullie allemaal. Doei doei.